Good Thursday morning. This was supposed to be a celebratory opening day at Citi Field for the Mets. It is not. That game is postponed, and it's not going to be celebratory because they got swept in Milwaukee. Now, the Bats woke up. They scored some runs, but the pitching was equally as terrible yesterday as it was the first two games of this series, and they come limping home, and maybe this day off helps them out. The Yankees beat the Phillies again, so doing some work for the Mets in the NL East early on in the season as they take that series, and they're off to a good start. Not as good as a start as the Tampa Rays, which, of course, is historic at this point. We'll see if that continues. But, yes, there are real concerns this early in the season when you get swept and you get your ass kicked and you got guys on the IL and your pitching looks terrible for the Mets. And if you're Steve Cohen, you can say whatever you want privately about how things are early and you trust in Buck and this and that. You got to be pissed off with this start with the offseason that you had. Paying all these guys and looking like this, getting swept on your way home. It's supposed to be a big deal coming home for opening day. Maybe this day off is a really, really good thing. We'll find out tomorrow. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
You know, I'm doing great, man. My hockey team won a big game last night against Tampa Bay, so we're rolling right into the playoffs, and hopefully Jacob Trouba is going to be okay. And Patrick Kane didn't play last night, but it didn't matter because we had Tyler Mott just throwing the puck at the net and somehow beating Vasilevsky. I have no idea how that happens, but it happened last night, and it was a good night for the Rangers.
Nobody cares about hockey, Boomer.
Shut up! We're almost right there. It's almost that time, man, where I start stuffing jerseys into the freezer. So it's coming.
Yep.
You know it's coming.
Yeah, well,
I have a feeling I'm going to have to take that Jack Hughes jersey and I'm going to have to shove it in the freezer.
Yes, that's right.
That young man has no idea what he's getting ready for.
He does not. He was in this studio a few years back, looked like he was 15 years old because he probably was close to it. This man has had an amazing season for the Devils. That's going to be a lot of fun. It was essentially, a meaningless, I shouldn't say totally meaningless game because you want to play well going into the playoffs. Tell that to
Jacob Trouba, who face planted on the ice.
Right, but both the Knicks and the Rangers pretty much solidified. I know that the Rangers could still technically catch the Devils for home ice. It's a possibility. But both for the Knicks and the Rangers, they kind of know, they know who their opponents are. They know where they're at. They just want to be staying healthy and playing well going into the postseason. And the Knicks scored a ton of points last night, and it was good to see.
By the way,
yeah,
again, another game where it is up and down the court.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of ball stopping. There's not a lot of that stuff. And everything that I was hoping for when Julius Randle got hurt for Obi Toppin now is starting to show itself.
Yep.
He's making the most of his opportunity. That's all you could ask for this young man. He's been sitting behind Julius Randle for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And he has a chance to show what he can do. Now, I don't know if Julius will be ready for the playoffs or not, but, anybody watching the Knicks over the last 4 games, that's a different team. I'm not sitting here saying they're going to any sort of championship, and I know they got to get past Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. But my God, come on. This is so much more fun watching this.
Well, they had a really, really good year with Julius Randle as well. The guy was an all-star.
Have you watched these last 2 games?
Of course I have, but I cannot say at this point that taking Julius Randle out of the lineup gives them a better chance of beating the Cavaliers. I can't do it.
And you and these NBA fans with the stars and all these dopey things.
Well, that's what
How
it
about
is,
the
though,
fact
man?
that you have young guys that are athletic, that are waiting for an opportunity?
They've played
They're
great.
Flying up and down the court, and it looks like a track meet.
But so
it is so much more enjoyable watching this.
That is true. But the other thing that is true is Julius Randle is the leading scorer on a team that has been in the playoff picture for the entire year.
Is it really that hard to score? Did you see how many points Obi Toppin had last night?
Yeah, I just don't want to
anybody
totally
can score. Nobody plays defense in this.
I know.
League.
I do not want to totally diminish what he's done this year. I don't want to do that.
Look, I don't want to take it away from me. All I'm saying is that I think it was 5 games ago when he got hurt, and I was telling you that this is Obi Toppin. Some guy called in, Obi Toppin. You haven't even seen Obi Toppin. He's averaging like 11 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Because they were running Julius Randle into the ground. I've been screaming that he should be getting more playing time.
Yeah, a lot of the Knicks fan base as well was right there with you, wanted to see more of them.
Yeah, I'm going. Well, then the Knicks fan base is really smart.
Yep.
because I'm really smart when it comes to this. Because
Sure.
it's just they're athletic, man. Oh my God, they're just they're up and down, they're flying. I mean, all of a sudden, out of the blue, they're like one of the faster teams in the NBA.
Yeah, it looks like it. I feel better about if Julius Randle can't play a couple games in this series or is out for this series, their ability to be able to win games. I feel better about that, but I'm not comfortable in saying
This is the kid that we saw at Dayton, man. That kid that we've been seeing he has no worries right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about making a mistake and getting pulled off the freaking court. He's gonna be a part of it. It looks great, and he's making the most of his opportunity, which is what I really appreciate.
Yeah.
That's what I appreciate.
And we just need to get to the playoffs with these teams at this point. I mean, the one team that's struggling right now does not know if they're going to be in is the New York Islanders. So everybody else seems to be in a very, very good spot. We got to get to the postseason.
I mean, we gave you a big lift up last night.
Sure. Yeah.
Vasilevsky had a horrific game. That's not who Andrei Vasilevsky normally is, the goalie for the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's not who he is. I know he had an off game. So I think tonight you get Brian Elliott. So good luck.
Good luck against Brian Elliott.
I know you guys have had problems with this Tampa Bay Lightning team. Maybe
some of the Rangers losing to them in the playoffs last year, yes.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm just saying right now in the moment.
Right. Oh, in the moment. We forget about the past.
Like last week, you went down to Tampa, got your ass kicked.
That is true. Yeah, it was
All right.
5-1.
So now it's time for a little retribution, a little revenge, and take care of your own business.
Right.
Take care of your chickens, as they say.
Take care of your chickens. And
speaking
about getting your ass kicked, that's exactly what the Mets did in Milwaukee. That team. You want to talk about having energy and having fun, and hitting home runs, and it was. I mean, that series for the Brewers. If that fan base out there, not that I care about the Brewers fans, but if they weren't excited going into the season with this team, they come out of that series going, "Oh my God!"
Dude,
look at
the Mets gave up 26 runs in 3 games.
Like, look at this group we got here, man. This is like a National League contender here. We might win the pennant. We just kicked the crap out of the Mets. This was a team that won 101 games last year, as the highest payroll in baseball, and we just shoot them away like a gnat.
All right, so this kid Mitchell, who hits the game-winning home run yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are analytics guys in baseball, right?
Too many of them, yeah.
Right, but aren't those analytics guys saying, okay, this guy hit a slider off of Matt Scherzer out of the building?
Yeah, well, just about everybody did.
Right. Well, let's not throw him a slider.
Yeah.
Let's not throw him. Why are we throwing him a slider?
Well,
like where's the analytics guys when you need them?
Well, how about let's not throw him a slider that sits over the plate so he can hit it out of the park? How about that?
That pitch, as Keith said yesterday, was the exact same pitch.
Yeah, well, they both hung him.
I mean, all right, so stop throwing the goddamn pitch.
Or execute better.
You know what? This is, and thank God they have off today.
Yeah.
I mean, they need a break. Too bad the Yankees have off today. They should be playing because Gleyber Torres is on fire right now. On fire. And this is the player that I think Brian Cashman has been hoping to see for a good year and a half. I mean, they saw some of this last year from him. But
not enough.
But now all of a sudden, now they've seen a lot of it. And for everyone out there that's talking about it's pivot time and it's this, it's that, and he doesn't have the right to, this is what you're hoping for. You're hoping for a guy like this to show up and start hitting the ball and being a player that they know that he can be.
Yeah, so it's funny you say that because you rattled off a couple of the famous BT phrases. Brandon Tierney of Tiki and Tierney. He sent us numerous texts yesterday.
I know he did yesterday, but he's the real Yankee fan. I'm not a Yankee fan. I'm just telling you. What I see is Gleyber Torres. He's off to an awesome start right now.
Right. So it's funny because in a separate text, just to me, not about the bike tour and what we were busting his chops about not raising money, he sent a headline from the New York Post of a Mark Cuban quote that says, "Mark Cuban, Jalen Brunson earned the right to make the Knicks move." And BT was like, "Look, it's resonating. My words are echoing throughout the sports world."
Yeah, Mark Cuban has earned the right to get fired off of Shark Tank after this decision with Kyrie Irving.
Right.
By the way, Kyrie Irving went off last night.
Yeah, well, what does that mean? Tree falls in the forest
I know,
at this
but
point.
You know what that means? That means we need them in the top 10.
Yeah, no, I know. With the draft pick thing, listen, I'm torn with this because, of course, I want the Knicks to have the best chance in the draft, but at the same time, the Mavericks being completely out of it, and then the Nets making the playoffs with Kyrie sitting and watching that, to me is also something that I will take enjoyment in. So since I can't control any of this stuff, I'm going to sit back and be like, listen, I'm going to take a positive out of either thing.
What do you think about Kyrie saying that, I really wanted to stay with the Nets? I wasn't asking for a trade.
Okay, sure. I mean, the Nets actually did the right thing and put their foot down and didn't give him an extension, which is something that I thought that they were going to cave on, but they didn't. So good for them. Good for Sean Marks and not doing that. So, yes, it does help the Knicks if the Mavericks are better. But at the same time, if he misses the playoffs, and then if Kevin Durant gets knocked out early, it's just like everything's just coming up roses. And the Knicks somehow beat the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell. I mean, that right there is the dream scenario for the NBA playoffs if we're going to get that. That right there would be every box checked.
Check,
Durant
and more
out,
check. Yes.
Irving out. Knicks still playing. I actually want the Nets to keep playing as well at this point because I don't even hate them anymore. So yeah, that would be great. But yes, anyway, back to having today off. It was a smart call because it's going to rain all day. I know it's not going to be warm on Friday, but it's just barely ever warm in April anymore around here. So you got the clean day on Friday. You don't have to mess around with the fans and the parking and the showing up and the concessions and people calling us the next day. I was in there for 2.5 hours. I spent $400 and they called the game. Now I got to come back tomorrow. So they did the right thing finally with that. But the team stinks right now. They do. It doesn't mean they're going to stink the entire year. They stink right now. Their pitching is horrendous. David Peterson, I thought, was going to come out and pitch well yesterday, and this thing was going to settle down. At least you had Lindor and Alonso hitting finally. But it is if Scherzer's going to be terrible, if Verlander's going to be out, if these guys that are supposed to step up and pitch well, like Tyler McGill and David Peterson, and these spot starts are not going to be able to do it, then, I mean, this rotation right now scares the hell out of me. Absolutely scares the hell out of me because I don't know anything about Kodai Senga except for what I just saw in that first start, which was good, but can I count on him?
Well, Carrasco was horrific.
Yep.
Peterson has had, 2 outings. The first one was good against Miami. This one was not good yesterday. The bullpen has been all over the place. I mean, Robertson was good yesterday. He brought him in the 8th inning, which was surprising to me. But anyway, they brought him in, and it is, I don't know what to tell you. It's frustrating because the hitting finally shows up, and then the pitching implodes.
Yeah.
And the pitching has imploded, by the way, the last 3 games. 26 runs in the last 3 games. And they get swept in a building that they can't seem to win in.
Yeah, I mean,
what the hell? I mean, it's the Milwaukee Brewers, for God's sake.
I mean, how many times have we seen that Bernie the Brewer going down the slide and all the nonsense that's going on there, and just they're hitting the hell out of the ball? Yeah, I mean, it seems to be.
The only thing to look forward to is the freaking sausage race.
That's right. Remember Randall Simon got suspended for whacking that sausage? Remember that whole thing?
He what?
Randall Simon got suspended for whacking the sausage with the bat. You remember that famous WFAN moment, too? It was Bob Usler said it during the top of the hour ID during the Mets broadcast and got Gary Cohen cracking up. Randall Simon suspended 10 games for whacking the sausage. He was with the Pirates, I think, Randall Simon, and the sausage race was going on.
Yeah.
And they took his bat, and like when the kielbasa came by, went whap.
I got to tell you, it's
knocked
like
him down.
We can make fun of it all we want, but it's one of the really ingenious marketing ideas because now we all know it.
Oh, sure, yes.
It's like the president's running down in Washington, D.C.
Right, and they also have the pierogi race at PNC Park. They got pierogies running.
Yeah, but nobody knows that. I mean, everybody knows the sausage race in Milwaukee.
What do you mean nobody knows it? I know it. Everybody on Pittsburgh, they love the pierogi race.
But we nationally know about the sausage race in Milwaukee.
Right.
We know it.
And now their thing is the cheese head, which I think is silly that they're putting the cheese head on the guy.
Why is that
run.
silly?
Because that's the Packers thing. Get your own thing.
Yeah, so Wisconsin is cheese. Everybody's a cheese head.
Everybody puts the cheese head is the Packers thing.
Why, like if we were going to do something like that, like some sort of food item on your head.
For the Mets you're talking about?
Yeah, like for
a knish maybe? Would you put a knish on their head?
No, I mean, no. I personally, I don't like knishes.
Oh, I love a knish.
You like good knish? I'm not a knish guy.
Are you kidding me?
I am not a knish guy.
You get the, you bite into the knish and, a little bit of salt in there and some mustard.
No, not a knish guy. Sorry about that.
How could you not like a knish?
I think it could be a bagel hat. I think all of us love bagels, right?
Bagels and pizza, the
bagel
obvious
pizza,
ones.
Right?
Those are the obvious ones. I'm
How
trying
about an egg roll?
A little bit off the board. You could do that, yeah.
I mean, I
Do
think
that.
we're all egg roll fans.
Dumpling of some sort.
Dumpling of but it's got to be something you can make into a hat like that. That like a cheese head is really brilliant.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, it's brilliant for the Packers. It's not brilliant for the Brewers. It's the most. They stole that idea.
Wisconsin is the cheese capital of America.
I understand, but it's the Packers thing.
Come on now.
It is the Packers thing. Yeah, I don't think the Mets right now don't have enough good moments to have any funny hats or anything going positively for them. So let's just win some games first before you get some gimmicks. All right, Boomer and Gio on the Fan and CBS Sports Network. Quick break. Get Jerry in here to detail everything that happened